Looks like our agenda's pretty full.
As usual.
You have anything this morning there?
Tax abatements.
Anything?
I don't have anything.
I have nothing.
Okay, we'll adjourn then.
After a long hiatus, the county LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Commission, is gonna start back up. It's taken over a year now, but we're 90% on the way to having the county's emergency operations plan done, which is, it'll be I'll be so glad when it's done. And part of that is starting this LEPC again. And what that is if some of y'all may have been on it before, it's folks from the community, different emergency responders that are gonna meet as a commission and basically help the county be prepared for emergencies, where it's not just one guy in an office doing that. It kind of takes it out to the community, and we'll be meeting once a month. And the first meeting is going to be on April 10th. That's a Thursday, and it'll be at noon. We're going to meet once a month for now, and then we're going to probably meet quarterly after that. When I say our plan is almost done, it's almost done to state standards as best as I can get it with help from the state. But what usually happens is we need to get something on paper and approved, and that's what I'm doing. But once it's approved, we're kind of in the clear as far as the state's concerned. We're state compliant now, and then we'll take our LEPC group and we'll go back in and look at minor details that we want to change or tweak in it and get input from folks in the community. We've got a pretty broad list of people that we're gonna have on it, trying to represent all the special interests in the county. We're talking to somebody from the Sandyland organization to represent the elderly. We're talking to Glenn Newdigger, and he's accepted a position on there representing agriculture, and just varied interests like that. Somebody from the business community, schools, and also trying to geographically represent all the areas of the county. It'll wind up being about 20 people, roughly, when we start out. And, I suspect that as time goes by, we'll probably wind up with a few less than that. But we're gonna start with about 20 people. And other than just keeping you in the loop, the real question I have for you is, which one of the three of y'all would like to be on the LEPC? Because we've just left that wide open. But by state guidelines, we need to have and everybody, all three of y'all would be welcome, but we need to have, the state guidelines call for one representative from the county commission. And
But
I
sure,
sure
once a month during noon hour,
once a month during the noon hour.
we're gonna have meetings at that.
We're gonna try and have them next door in the annex. I think that'd be a great place to have them with the size of the crowd we're looking at. And if we've got anything to go over, like a PowerPoint or overheads, we've already got all that equipment there, so we're gonna try to do it there.
I think you fit in real good next week.
I agree.
And what day of the month you're gonna have this on?
The first one's gonna be April the 10th
Tuesday.
on a Thursday. And now,
This was what time you said, 11 to 1?
11:30 to 1 maybe. To be real honest, this has been pretty early stages. Let me check the date for sure yet. April 10th is when we're talking about doing that. And we're talking about doing it over lunch. Doris has state grant funds that for the LEPC is also going to be the pandemic flu committee. And she's got state grant funds they'll pay for our meetings. She's going to have lunch, sandwiches or something, so we can just have a working lunch. And we're going to, that way we don't have to do it in the evenings. We can get people during the day. And the first meeting, I'm going to try to not have it go more than like an hour, because at first it's really going to be, we're all probably probably gonna know each other in there, but just making sure everybody knows who everybody else is and who they represent. And then we're gonna just talk about what an LEPC is and why we're all here and what our goals are for the next year. And just be an introductory kind of meeting. After that, the next meeting, we'll start getting into some of the nuts and bolts of what we're looking at doing. I think an hour probably is pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a motion that JD will be our representative of the county commissioners to the LEPC.
Second.
Oh.
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I wondered, we like,
Well,
it didn't die for lack of saying, it just died.
We,
But you're planning on having second Thursday most of the time, or you gotta wait to decide after this meeting, decide which works best?
yeah, that date just came up because Doris and I put our schedules together and looked at the first day that both of us had open.
Okay.
And it was in August, or I mean April, I keep saying August, but I mean, we couldn't do it any sooner because we both have, our schedules are full all the way up until there. And it kind of worked out pretty good because April 10th, that same day, there will be a gentleman down here from Topeka that his basic job is to go around, he goes around the counties and helps them with their planning. And he'll be here trying to help us get ours tied up, get finishing touches on ours. Since you've been officially appointed now, or once everybody that either tells us yes or sends back the confirmation letter, they're gonna get a list of questions in the mail. And what it is it's the last remaining information that we lack to have an R plan completely done. And because there's a lot of things on there that they're not readily apparent, and we're gonna have to talk to the right person, and we're gonna find somebody that's gonna say, well, I know where you can find that, and well, because it deals with everything from what radio stations you can receive in our county, even though they're not located here, to watershed maps, to cattle stop orders, to, I mean, it encompasses everything. And so, some of it I didn't know off the top of my head, and I just have to get to the right people so we can get all that done, and you'll get a list of that. In other news, it rained and we quit having fires, and unless something changes, this Friday, we'll go get that fire truck that we bought.
Don't get it up and deliver it.
Well, getting it delivered here would have cost $6,000, I think they said, and it wasn't built into the price on it, and so they're gonna bring it. The broker has ultimate responsibility still to get it here, but they were gonna put it on a truck and just ship it, and the truck would pull up here and we'd unload it. And either I was mistaken or they were mistaken, but it was gonna cost them $6,000 to do that. And so they're gonna bring it from back east, and then the broker's gonna have to get it here. But I was offered, he was gonna fly me from Wichita down there where he's picking it up, so I can see it then and see how it runs, I think getting it back to the kind is gonna be the ultimate test of, I think if it's gonna break down, it's gonna break down before it gets back here. And so, I may go down there with them and get it, or I may not. It kinda depends on how this week goes now. I'd like to do it, but I don't know if I have time to do it. So, we should have it here by, maybe by the next meeting that y'all have. Going over it and pumping it and driving it and making sure, we've got 30 days to, not so much a 30-day warranty, but we've got the first 30 days to just take it and just do whatever with it and make sure that it is gonna hold up to what we expect it to do, so that we don't get stuck with something that, that isn't gonna work for us. So, that's about it. for
I have one
us.
question while you're there. You need this invoice for me.
Okay.
What are those? I was just curious.
I need to bring that up here. I need to bring it up here and make y'all some badges. What we did is, the state is encouraging all the counties in the state to have some kind of an ID system for its employees. Fire, EMS, and even just anybody that'll be involved in a disaster. And what we did was, they have a recommendation on what kind of system to get, so that they want everybody in the state to be the same. So we use money out of emergency preparedness to basically match a grant to do that. And it was a grant that we'd already talked about it up here, and it wasn't anything I applied for, it's a gimme from the state. It's where we got the $16,000 for Homeland Security and $11,000 for law enforcement. And we used money out of both of those, and then used money out of our budget to finalize it. And basically what the system is, and once we figure it out, me and the folks out there are real comfortable using it. We don't want to throw this out there yet, because I don't know if I could run it without messing something up yet. But what we're gonna do is throw that out there, not just to the county employees, but since it was paid for mostly with grant funds and then part of it out of emergency management, is we want to be able to use this system for anybody in the county that wants to provide identification for their employees. And what we'd like to do is we would like to make it where, we'd like to get it where even if they have their capabilities to make their own IDs, that they would use ours. Because in the event of a disaster, the first step is to get all these done, but then the second step down the road is by having all of these be the same. They actually have it where you have a barcode on the back of them, like a driver's license, and let's say we have a big disaster. When you get somebody in there, or if we go to Edwards County, once they get it where everybody's equipment is the same, you can scan the cards of the people that come in, and it tells you who they are, where they're from, their emergency contact information, what their qualifications are, their blood type. I mean, it tells you everything you need. And it also makes it where, the big problem in Greensburg, if you remember, they had different people come in and representing entities and stealing stuff. And well, if you don't have the same ID that everybody else in the state does, you don't belong there. And that's what we're working towards. The system is it's kind of cool because it comes in a Pelican case, a big hard plastic box, about probably that wide by that tall, and it's completely self-contained. To do this, so we could, if the hospital called and wanted to do IDs for everybody, we could just have one of our people load that up. It's got everything in there that you need. You take it over to the hospital, open the case up, camera pops out, the computer hooks into, sits right there, and the ID card printer is right behind it, and it just turn it on and go. It's a pretty slick deal. So as soon as we need to practice with it a little bit more. We had some training from the guy that delivered it, but we need to practice a little bit more, and then we'll bring it up here and let y'all see how it works. But that's
All right, just a pretty large item, just what it was. You said that mostly from grants and
yeah,
funding.
right. And we just, ran through us. But, yeah, and it's should be ready to go in a week or so. Anybody, if nobody has anything else, that's all I've got for now.
Did you call individual that had to complain, or you gonna speak to him about that or not?
Well, I talked to the sheriff and the police here in town, and I wouldn't mind talking directly to them.
No, I mean, that's fine, I just wondered if you had, but I didn't ask you.
Yeah,
if you had.
I don't know if it's possible, maybe it would help out maybe a little bit.
Cause I got county council to not talk directly.
Okay,
That was advice
that's
from
fine.
downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm gonna do it then, but that, you address the issue, that's the main thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no problem saying on record that I believe that it's the responsibility of not just myself, but all of our people to drive safe as possible. And state law says it gives you the right to violate certain traffic rules when responding to an emergency. But the key phrase in there is you always respond with due regard. And I can tell you, after 12 years of doing this and seeing people pile up vehicles and seeing bad things happen, believe me, the regard of the citizens and of the community is never out of my mind whenever I'm on my way to a call. If we don't get there, we can't help people. And I regret that people are setting an alarm, but the person is upset that there was no safety issues occurring at the time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason.
Okay. Tax rolls corrections.
I make the motion, we approve the tax abatements.
Second.
Second, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Since it's one of those have-to things, delete one and add the other.
You know, what really gets me, are we in
Yeah.
recess?
No, we're still on camera. Right now, but, okay, and then, on this, we discussed, it's on our item here about, Austin Peters Group, the salary survey. We wanted to update that one and find out what it cost. It was 8 years or no, about 5, 6 years old. Let's update the other.
I think it's a good idea.
To contact and get a price and see what
Last time it was over 5,000.
Now, I looked at it, in fact, had a contract with Cleveland Briefcase, I've seen the other lease on there, it's different stages, they charge so much for this and so much for this, there's 4 different areas, or 5 in the area, I think, the way they do it, so.
And do we have input, I mean, can we, say for example, have a two-tiered approach to this? Say a newly elected official with no experience, the salary range would be this. If a newly elected official that has experience, they'd be at another level. Rather than walking in, no experience whatsoever, but is elected, gets the same salary as the person they defeated with.
I think it'd be a good area to look at, so. Do you want to try to get a hold, maybe come up here and so we can discuss it with you? You got your phone number, or one else to try, or set sometime, it'll be all right with you, just set something up and see what.
Do you want them to come out here and meet with you?
If they ask them if they would, I think the way they did before, I think come out here and know this, I believe, prior to doing
Yeah,
anything.
we did.
And see if they are
What their time schedule is.
right, and see what they've got to offer this time. Anything else right now, discuss?
I have nothing.
Okay, go recess. Are you cleaning that tank, planning on going ahead and cleaning that too, or
No, I'm not.
you're not cleaning it?
No.
Well, it needs cleaning, it needs the bathrooms and such cleaned, and, yeah, I think you've had some things, that's some things,
Yeah, we
something
have.
like that.
Said the building was nice, but the restrooms were bad.
I didn't realize the annex was part of my job.
Well, it's just
Part of our courthouse.
So can you,
Well, gentlemen, this is how I feel about it. The health office and the EMS office and the shop aren't part of I was hired to take care of this building. I felt like I did a good job taking care of the yard last year, but you just want me to take care of the restrooms?
well, I mean, yeah, a sweep inside or something, it needs some attention, so I guess I was impressed, I thought you were gonna take care of it over there since it's right next door.
No, No, I hadn't, I hadn't.
Okay, well,
Well, I think, as far as the restrooms and the meeting room, I mean, there's no sense in going in and cleaning the whole building because we're gonna be remodeling, but I think
Right.
at the time they're using these for meetings, you know, just the entrance and particularly the restrooms.
Who is using them for meetings? Who, what
we got various
What
things.
departments are you, are they county departments?
EMS
or-
has used it several times, Extension has it spoken for a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
We had.
Those FEMA meetings were in there.
Well, for one thing, I don't have any, I don't know when any of this stuff is going on. Somebody would have to keep me abreast of what is happening there, but no, I really don't feel like that is part of my job. Taking care of that entire.
Well, like I said, right now, we're not, but there's gonna be remodeled, that's it.
Yes, yes.
But with the meetings going on now, and it's been used quite a bit lately, so.
Uh-huh.
And just to keep the restroom clean, like you said, in
Okay.
the front area, and
And sweep the front area and.
yeah, right.
On as needed, I mean, that's, doesn't necessarily go over there every week, but I
Uh-huh.
think if we have some traffic in there,
So you can let me know
yeah.
when something is on the schedule and, okay.
And then once the remodeling is done, and then
When, do we have any idea? when-
No.
Just to work with the architect on it, so then we'll address the issue later on, we just keep it clean for now.
Okay.
because we know that there'll be a meeting over there one Thursday a month. I don't know if they're doing EMS training, or the class is
They're done
over.
with the classes.
So, and FEMA's done, so I think it probably just the extension office and whatever else comes up.
Okay.
So there's there's nothing going on there
Okay, so-
every week.
So neither
There's
will
nothing
alert
there
me.
this week.
Yeah.
But if we just, I mean, if you clean up prior or after.
It needs some attention now.
Yes, it needs attention now.
I haven't looked at it.
That's what I heard anyhow.
Okay,
I haven't
okay.
been in there, I haven't looked at it, but I heard some things that it needs some attention down in
Uh-huh.
the bathroom.
Well, when I was in there the last time, it needed some attention.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll recess. Anyone else have anything this
I
morning?
don't have anything.
You have something else?
No.
Ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'm also moved.
We are adjourned.